In this video, I'm going to demonstrate using LotNet to create roads and lots based upon minimum requirements of frontage and lot area as well as road width. The two elements I need to be able to use this program are a closed polyline, which you see here in green, which represents the perimeter of the property, and I have two center lines, which are just polylines that I drew. In using this program, I am going to demonstrate using the ribbons. If you prefer to use pull-down menus, the same commands exist in the Area Layout pull-down and a section for LotNet. I'm going to begin by creating a lot network file. I do so by clicking on Lot Network Settings. I type in the name subdivisions.ltn and I hit Open. Since I had this set on existing, the program prompts that it does not exist and asks if I would like to create it this time. I click Yes, and a dialog box opens with the lot network settings. In this dialog box, you see the name of the LTN file, the lot network, called Subdivision. The road network, since we do have a couple roads in here, I'm going to create one of those. I do that by hitting Select, making sure I'm in the New tab. I'm going to create a road network just called Roads. My starting lot name is 1, lot area tolerance. So lots that don't close completely, you can set a lot tolerance there. I'm not going to output a file for now. I am going to use automatic label updates. Lot line layer is boundary dash lots. And for now, I'm going to turn off label lines and arcs. I would, though, like to have the areas labeled. In the building placement settings, which is set to default, I'm going to hit Edit and make sure my front setback is at 20, side is at 10, and the back setback is 20. The setback lines will be drawn on the boundary setback layer. And I hit OK. That's my basic settings. I now go to the next button, which is Set Boundary, and I'm going to select the green polyline, which represents the perimeter of the property, and I hit Return. The next icon is the road network icon, which I will launch into. Since I have existing roadways, and I would like to create right-of-ways, a cul-de-sac at the end of each road, and lots laid out along those roadways. That can all be done through the road network command. So I launch road network, and a dialog appears to the left of the screen. First thing I'm going to do is check the settings, which are the lot settings themselves. Side intersections, it's the radius of the right-of-way, and create lots, which is enabled. I click on the settings, and I can set my target area, which I have set at 30,000 square feet with a minimum frontage of 100 square feet. I have a minimum lot depth of 50 feet and a lot depth of 500 feet, which I'm going to increase to 1,000 feet to ensure that each lot extends all the way to the perimeter in all directions. I'm going to have the remainder of each lot added to the last, and I'm going to use the default lot type. And I hit OK. I now begin by adding roadways. So I have two roadways here that I'm going to add, and I use the Add button. I am prompted to add an item, either a road or a cul-de-sac. This is a road. And I'm going to select the center line by screen picking the polyline. So I'm going to pick this first road and assign it to a centerline file. I'll call it Road A and save that. I can then now create a right-of-way offset file by clicking on right-of-way offsets and save a file. I'm going to call it 40 feet for a 40-foot wide road, and then edit that right-of-way layer called BNDRY-ROW. The left offset is 20. The right offset is 20. You can see an option here to add additional offsets like edge of pavement lines, back of sidewalk, etc. I'm going to save that and exit and hit OK. I'm now going to add the other road. Screen pick the polyline, select that polyline, and assign a centerline file called Road B. I'm going to use the same right-of-way offset of the 40-foot road. You can see when I select each that they're highlighted on the screen, so you can show visually that you have the right road. I am now going to add cul-de-sacs to the end of each road. So I again hit Add, and this time I'll select cul-de-sac and select Road A. We'll get a 60-foot radius with a fillet radius of 25 feet. You can see your options for offset cul-de-sacs and a teardrop cul-de-sac. And I hit OK. Repeat that and add another cul-de-sac to the end of Road B. Same radius, same fillet radius. So you can now see the intersection automatically picked up from Road A and Road B. I can highlight that. By double-clicking on that road, I can change the right-of-way of the front, right, and back radius that correspond to the intersecting roadway. So if I wanted asymmetrical intersecting radii, I could set those here. By selecting each cul-de-sac, I can see a highlight indicating where the cul-de-sac is to make sure I have the right one, the right end. Now with the parameters that I have set, I can hit Process . The program takes a first run through and creates lots based upon the minimum criteria. Now it's easy to see quickly some of these lots are not favorable, so we're going to make some modifications. So I can actually at this time save and exit out of the road network because we've created our right-of-ways and our basic lots, and now we're going to go start editing these lots. So the first ones I'd like to take a look at are lots 12 and 13. I would like to have the lots laid out with the lot line running in the opposite direction. So the first thing I would like to do, remove lot edge, and I'll just pick that lot line and hit enter, and that one returns back to a single lot. I'm now going to redivide that area by picking subdivide area, picking inside that lot, ensuring that I have the same lot dimensions, 30,000 square feet with 100 feet of frontage, and I hit OK. It then highlights the frontage that I have available. So the first time it went through, it began the frontage along Road B. I would like it to start along Road A. So when it asks for pick end of frontage to start lots, I pick anywhere towards that end of the lot, and it recreates the lots in that manner. Likewise, lot 26 and 7. I begin, remove lot edge, returns it to a single lot. I'm going to re-subdivide that. Same target area and frontage. It highlights the available frontage. I pick the beginning point and it redivides the lot. Now I can see I have 30,000 feet in lot 10 and 37,000 in lot 11. So I'd like to make those a little bit more equivalent, and I'll change the size of lot 10 to say 33,000 square feet. And I can do that by using sliding side area. I pick the lot to pick inside lot to adjust, and I pick lot 10 anywhere, and then at select lot edge to adjust, I will select that lot edge, and the target area will be 33,000 feet. And it re-subdivides the lots. Now going around the cul-de-sac, we have a minimum lot size for lot 30, but a very large size, lot 31. I can adjust that by moving lot edge point. So I pick the lot line I'd like to move, a point near the end that I would like to move, and a new place. I'm just going to use my O snaps and snap to nearest and select the spot there and hit enter. I've redivided lot 30 and 31. Now I have one large lot left over. Again, my option was to add all the remainder to the last lot, which ended up in being lot 49, over 50,000 square feet, but it's not enough for two lots. So I'm going to redistribute that along these last 5 lots. I will start by removing lot edges and using a fence selection. I will remove those last 5 lots, and I hit enter, and they've returned to a single lot. I can now re-subdivide that area, pick a spot in the middle of the area, same criteria, except the remainder now I am going to apply equally to all lots, and hit OK. Pick the end of the frontage to start. I will start here, and I now have 5 more equivalent looking lots. I can also add angle points to a lot. For example, if I wanted to create a retreat lot for lot 22, I can add a lot edge point. So I pick the lot line, and I pick a spot to create an angle point, and hit enter. I then can move the back lot edge point to the end point here. I've introduced an angle point to the lot. If I would like to adjust that angle point, I can simply move a lot edge point, pick this lot line, visually move it to a new location, and there's my new lot 22. To create a quick report of these lots now, I can use the lot network report. Instead of summary, I can use the report formatter, and OK, and add the information I would like to see in my report. So I'll put lot number, the area, in acres, and the frontage. Hit display, and I get a list of all the lots, their area, and the frontage. We can also use LotNet to check and place proposed building footprints. To do that, we'll go back into LotNet Network Settings, and under the Building Placement Settings defaults, I once again hit Edit. Again, here are my setback requirements: front 20, side 10, and back at 20. I enable the option to draw building pads and set the layer P-building. I can rotate the buildings parallel with the frontage or perpendicular to a lot edge. I will use frontage. For the building pad width, to say our desired building pad is 80 by 40, and a building name of house, I'll call it 80 by 40. I have an option to draw driveways, which I'm leaving disabled. I can draw additional building pads. So I'm going to do that and add a secondary building pad of 75 by 40. I'd give that a name, house 75 by 40. So the program will first attempt to place a house 80 by 40, and then if it does not fit in the lot, it will place one at 75 by 40, and you can add more in order of preference. So I'll hit OK, OK, And then, under the option to update lot network labels, just click that, and all my building pads are placed. Now, if I am to run a lot network report, you now see in the available column the house 70 by 40 and 80. So if I add that to my report, when I print my report, it now shows which lots have which type of building. To see that information on the fly, you can also use Lot Network Inspector. I execute that command, and as I hover over each lot, you can see the frontage, area, which house fit in which lot. Now to add bearings, distances, and arc information, I once again return to Lot Network Settings, turn on label lines and arcs. I have preset styles, my LotNet.AAN for my line curve label settings, and then for my general settings, I have general annotations. To look at those, you can see I just have angle above distance, but I'm using the option to combine common angles, series, and total distances. I hit OK, and again, update lot network labels. And my subdivision is annotated. So in a matter of minutes, I can create a complete subdivision annotated with lots, areas, and all are capable of modifying in a very short amount of time. Finally, once all the lots are created, using lot network utilities from the pull-down menu, I can output all of these lots into a single lot file. I execute lot output to lot file, create a lot name for the subdivision, and a coordinate file to set points for that subdivision. We're going to output a separate boundary, right-of-way, starting point number 1, description for the points will be lot, and I hit OK. I can now then go into my lot file manager, open up that lot file. I now have a multitude of options for creating reports, even legal descriptions. You can select all and draw all these lots into another drawing file, labeling them, or I could just draw the points. For stakeout.